Now on to this. Boyz II Men fans have been buzzing all year ahead of the iconic group's performance in South Africa coming up in November of 2023. Boyz II Men remains one of the most truly iconic R&B groups in the music industry, and the group has redefined popular R&B music. Now, for more on the upcoming performance, we speak to Scelo Mhlanga, who's a musician and a member of the South African acapella group. Scelo, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and thank you so much for your time. Now, Beyond Vocal will be one of the opening acts for Boyz II Men in the upcoming concert that's been much anticipated all year round. Just tell us, how did it come for this group to be an opening act for Boyz II Men, and how did you guys react to those news?
First of all, thank you for having me this evening. Though the pokers are playing. Yeah, I can actually hear the noise outside. Look, I think for any musician, not just an a cappella outfit, any musician all over the world, when you mention Boyz II Men, it's a band that is touched, I mean, almost like every musician, and it has been a part of our childhood, and every person who's in love with music. So, I mean, even growing up as boys, when we would sing at church, wherever, would want to imitate Boyz II Men. And I'm sure you're aware that everywhere where boys come together and they sing, people are like, oh, you guys are trying to be like Boyz II Men. And that's the magnitude of the growth and the work and the impact that Boyz II Men has had all over the world. So thank you to Glenn from Glenn 21 for allowing us to be part of this huge celebration. And when we got the news, trust me, it could have been anyone. And we all as a band said, you know what, it's God's time. You know, when it's God's time, no one can do anything about it. And I mean, we can't wait to be on that stage, not only to perform as Beyond Vocal, but to share a stage with people that have inspired us to get into this music industry, to take this whole music career to the level that we've taken it to. So it is going to be an honor. And when we got the news, like, I'll repeat, I still can't believe, you know, we couldn't contain ourselves. A lot of emotions all over the place, but more than anything, grateful that God has granted us this opportunity to go and showcase our craft.
That certainly is a great feat. I mean, Boyz II Men has been around for 25 years, Beyond Vocal for 15 years, but here you are now meeting on one stage. For those that are not familiar with Beyond Vocal, what's your music centered on? What messaging do you bring in your music?
Look, as guys who've got a very serious Christian background, our music is inspirational. We believe that there's nothing as powerful when it comes to spreading positive and negative messages. There's nothing that does that more than music. So we're more on inspirational music, but we're strongly rooted on our beliefs as, you know, well, as Christians, you know, which keeps us rooted in this industry, as you might know how it is. So we spread messages of hope, you know, love, and you know, experiences that we've had individually and as a band. So that's what we've centered our music in, basically.
And how important is it for people to use music in really addressing some of these social ills that we might have or that we do have in the world? We know that a lot of people refer to music for inspiration, like you say, in what you guys intend to do as a band, but people also refer to music for a lot of teachings and learnings. Yes.
True. Very, 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 very true. I think to be very honest with you, nothing happens without music. I mean, I'm sure when Newzroom starts, there's music. Anything from politics to sports, everything is inspired by music, and hence music is a very powerful tool to spread any message. And I think from any organization to whatever motive you might have in wanting to spread a message rather, music becomes that powerful tool. So it makes or breaks. at the same time. So I think we're more on the making side with music, and then that's what we believe. Yeah.
In as much as being an artist really relies on talent that one might be born with, how important is it to hone that skill, either from an academic level in terms of learning how to play an instrument, learning about music and its history? How important is it for any musician to be able to further develop themselves beyond the talent?
I think as musicians we probably share so many different sentiments. But personally, to be very honest with you, I think music is one of those things that can be, tempered with, because it's very spiritual. So you might born gifted. There are people who are born gifted to do this, and if you're very in touch with your spiritual side, it leads you in anything. It inspires you to like you were saying, it inspires you to spread messages, positive and negative, whichever way you want to look at it. So there are people obviously who believe in then feathering that, going to school to further their studies and developing their craft. I believe that it's very important, obviously, depending on which route you're taking in music. But most importantly, I think you have to be in touch with your spiritual side, because music is a spiritual thing. Music touches people. Music is a healer. Music is a comforter. Music is a message spreader. Music convinces people. Music changes people's minds. So it's very important as the container, as the chosen person to spread that particular message, as the instrument to spread that message. It's very important that you become in touch with your spiritual side and actually believe what you're actually spreading and what you're singing about. So just as much as the academic side is very important, I think you can't ignore the spiritual side, because music is a spiritual thing. So that's what I personally believe in.
And then when it comes to development, especially for those in underprivileged areas who are looking to get into the music industry, is there any work that Beyond Vocal is doing in terms of maybe educating or just having young people come in, see what you guys are doing in order for them to be inspired?
Look, I think we've tried our best, and I think we're still going to do more, because I believe the more you grow, the more it becomes easy for you to reach out to more people, and obviously be in touch with other organizations that are involved in that. So Beyond Vocal, I mean, we do a lot of visitations, be it schools, be it churches, because remember we're Christians, so we've got a very strong Christian background. So we have to go back there, because we know that there are people, or kids rather, let me put it that way, who don't have access to so many things, who have that thing in them, but they don't know where to go. They don't know who to speak to. They don't know how to go about it. And unfortunately, or whether to say fortunate, I don't know whether to say fortunate, unfortunately, the industry is probably one of the most difficult spaces to be in, and it's a dog eat dog. So not only do you have to develop your skill as a singer or as an artist, but the character to stay within, even when it gets too difficult, is very important. So besides going around teaching people about music and how to get to certain levels, it's very important to teach people what you need character-wise to stay within.
Right.
When it gets difficult. Remember, I don't know, not to make other people feel uncomfortable, but it's a devil's playground. He's the owner of this department that we're in, which is music. So we do a lot of things, and I think we're still going to do more. With the help, obviously, of people that we've met. There's a lot of people in corporate spaces that have helped us reach to the spaces where we've been able to, help with talent shows, and help with choirs, help with taking some kids to certain places and actually giving advice on what to focus on when
and how
they
to
get
take themselves forward in the future. Yes. All right.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, we are reaching the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining us. All the best with your opening act for Boyz II Men coming up next week. We certainly wish you all the best, and we will be looking out for you. That was Scelo Mhlanga, who is a musician and a member of the South African acapella band Beyond Vocal.